Hey everyone, and welcome back to another movie review. Today I'll be reviewing one of my most anticipated films of the year, starring Tom Hardy, and that's Legend. So Legend was written and directed by Brian Helgeland, and it stars Tom Hardy in the two leading roles as Ronnie and Reggie Kray, the Kray twins from the 1960s. It's based on a true story of the two gangsters who kind of ruled London's East End during the 1960s, though what I've heard from people who actually know the true story, that this film isn't completely accurate to what actually happened. Anyway, before seeing this film I didn't really know anything about the Krays, so I wasn't really worried about whether it was going to be true to the story or not, because I just wanted to see a good film with Tom Hardy in it. So I guess the main thing this film had going for it that everyone was excited for was dual performances by Tom Hardy playing both Kray twins. First of all, the visual effects were handled really well. The fact that they were able to have both twins together in the same shot and not have it look fake by any measure was really a credit to the director and the CGI team or visual effects team who worked on it, because it looked flawless. It looked like these two characters were individuals, and even when they're standing next to each other they had their own traits and they're very separate but similar and very well captured onto film together. So Reggie Kray was kind of like the mind behind everything. He was the smart one, the guy who knew how to get things. He owned a club originally, so he was fairly well off to begin with. And Ronnie Kray was kind of like the psychopathic nuts one. He was actually in a mental ward to begin with, but they got him out. And he's very kind of like uncontrollable and unpredictable, and he's probably the best and most interesting character to watch on screen because he's just so funny as well. The things he comes out with and says are so random, and he's just very unpredictable, very violent, and kind of a very scary character as well. Emily Browning's in the film, and she plays Frances, who is Reggie's wife, and she did quite a good job as well. You also got Christopher Eccleston, who plays the police officer who's on the Krays case. You've got Taron Egerton in the film, David Thewlis, Chazz, Palminteri, Paul Bettany. So a lot of famous British actors, and pretty much everyone was on top of their game here. They all did fantastic. So I went and saw this film last night on opening night with my brother and a few friends, and the main issue that they had with the film was that it focused on the relationship between Reggie and Frances rather than the Krays' actual, I guess, gang life and their reputation and everything that happened between them being gangsters. So I guess that's one of the things that's going to disappoint a few people, the fact that it's kind of beneath all of its layers is a love story between Frances and Reginald, but I didn't mind that too much. I thought it was an even balance. One of my main issues with the film was that it was a bit too long. I thought it goes for 2 hours and 10 minutes, so it does feel a bit longer than that. I think they could have cut a few scenes out maybe, because it does seem to drag a little bit at certain points. It does have very violent scenes throughout as well, but they're not really frequent. They're just occasional, like early on in the film or towards the end of the film. But the movie was shot perfectly. Everything looked great in the film. All the sets and scenery and the designs and the costumes and the cars and just every character was done up really well, and it just looked really authentic. So definitely the best thing about this film, and the biggest thing it's got going for it, is Tom Hardy's performance. I think if you had have had another actor or two actors play the twins, it definitely wouldn't have had the same kind of gravity that it has with Tom Hardy playing. I think he just elevates the film up so much higher than it really should be. It's definitely one of the best films of the year because of his performance, and definitely one of the best performances I've seen all year. I think this is definitely Tom Hardy's best year we've had. So we've got Mad Max earlier this year and Child 44, which I thought was good. Now Legend, which is really good, and I can't wait to see him in The Revenant with Leonardo DiCaprio. That looks fantastic, and that comes out in January, I think. So I do recommend Legend, though it was, as I said, a bit slow at certain points, and if you don't mind it not focusing completely on the gang life the whole time throughout the film, then I think you'll enjoy it, as long as you know that going into it. But it is a very interesting movie, because usually with these gangster films you're used to seeing the American gangs, but it's interesting to see a British gangster film set in the 1960s, so that was another unique thing it had going for it. So overall I really enjoyed Legend, and I'm going to give it an A-. So thanks guys for watching my quick review of Tom Hardy's new film Legend. Highly recommend it. Go check it out if you get the chance, and please subscribe to my channel and check out some of my other videos, and I'll be back soon with more videos. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you then. Bye.